Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. Alright, let's start the show. What's going on, Mavericks? We are back with another episode of The Unusual Mavericks. I'm your host, Kwame, joined by the Blackalicious, the bearded one himself, Just Dominic.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to be back for another week of comic book discussions.
Yes. Hey, Michaela, how you doing, little sis?
Michaela.
Thank you for joining.
Hey.
We had some scheduling difficulties with our guest today, Ken Kokroa. So we will try to reschedule him for another time. Hey, Dr. Holt, thank you for joining. Appreciate you.
Dr. Holt.
So I had a good day today. Started year 20 in education. Yes, come on, 20 years in education.
All right, congratulations.
What a career. That's what I'm talking about. Helping the youth. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Sister Michelle, how are you, Queen? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Yes.
Sister Michelle.
Gather around, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, let's go ahead and get some stuff in here. Listen, y'all.
Everybody comes in.
Yeah, as everybody's come to, this is going to be a little bit of a different episode today. We're going to be kind of really focusing. Hold on. Oh, I was like, what was playing? I was like, what is this noise?
The music underneath?
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's better music.
No, everybody, please like and share. Please tell everybody that we're on. This is going to be a really good discussion today.
Yes, we have a couple of things that came out of Comic-Con. We got some news from DC and Marvel. So we're going to kind of focus it on the Maverick alert today and kind of go into expansive discussions. And so I just grabbed some articles. I grabbed some things. We're going to talk about it and deep dive into it. And then So without further ado, let's get into, what is it, Dominic?
The Maverick alert.
Yes. I completely didn't even have it up. There we go. Every single time. There we go. All right, here we go. So today's topic is what is going on. There's a lot of crap going on with Marvel and DC, and we have problems. We have issues, we have things that we need to discuss. And so first up on the agenda on this breaking news is, let's go ahead and pull this up. Cool. All right, so this one is coming out of Marvel, and it looks like Marvel confirms the darkest Iron Man theory after Rhodey's Secret Invasion twist. Marvel's Secret Invasion finale has seemingly confirmed the darkest theory about the Skrull posing as Rhodey and the events of Avengers Endgame. So for those who did not watch the last episode, to include myself, because I did not watch it yet, but here's a little bit of a spoiler alert. All right, so just letting you know, just wanted to let you know out there that there's a bit of a spoiler. So there has been a reveal revolving around Rhodey, and so it confirms some theories that they had revolving around Rhodey, and so it's kind of being confirmed that the primary point of the curiosity became exactly when War Machine was replaced. Now, Secret Invasion Episode 6 has seemingly confirmed the tragic truth and its major implications. As seen in Secret Invasion Episode 4, it was officially confirmed that Rhodey was indeed a Skrull, having maneuvered into a position within the White House as an advisor to U.S. President Britain, who is played by Dermot Mulroney. As such, it was this Skrull imposter's motivate. Hold on, I can't do this with this music. Thanks. Okay,
Distracting
so
me. Hilarious.
very distracting. As such, it was this Skrull imposter's job to help motivate conflict between the U.S. and Russia in a bid to incite all-out nuclear war to help Skrulls and humanity and claim Earth as their own. However, Secret Invasion's finale episode has seemingly confirmed just how long the real Rhodey has been out of commission in the MCU. So, Secret Invasion strongly suggests Rhodey was replaced after Civil War. That is what they're saying and what they're thinking. Now, here's my thing. I have an issue, and this kind of leads into the next topic, which is actual Secret War and all of the issues that people have been having with it, and also Marvel Studios includes a sneaky kind of X-Men symbol in the new MCU show. But here's the thing: the issue with Secret Wars. Secret Invasion is that, and we talked about it on the podcast, which is going to be releasing soon. It was supposed to release last week, but it's going to be releasing this week. We talked about it about episode 1. This feels like a Nick Fury adventure. It doesn't feel like a Secret Invasion storyline.
No.
It doesn't feel like it is. We're talking about the things that are supposed to be going on within the storyline and the arc of Secret Invasion. It does not feel like we are getting all of the things and the elements that are supposed to bring about the actual storyline of Secret Invasion from the comics.
Yeah.
It feels like the adventures of Nick Fury, which is fine, but that's what we need to just damn call it. We don't need to call it Secret Invasion if it's not going to be about all of the things, all of the characters that are supposed to be in Secret Invasion and how that storyline actually unfolds. And it feels as if Nick Fury and or it feels as if Marvel has just kind of dropped the ball on this one. The ratings are the critics are actually talking about it. The public is talking about it. Fans
in a negative way, yeah.
Very negative way about this. And not to say anything, this is not slighting Samuel L. Jackson at all. This is not saying anything negative about him as an actor. He does a phenomenal job as Nick Fury. I want him to stay as Nick Fury. I think he is brilliant as Nick Fury. However, this series didn't even, to me, bring up a feel of who truly Nick Fury is, because we got no shield, we got no sword, we got no
in the end, yes. See, I've seen all 6 episodes, so I won't spoil it for anyone, but as a series finale, season 1, I don't know if they're gonna do a season 2. God, I hope they don't. But as a season 1, I've seen all 6 episodes. And as you said, the retelling of the story of Secret Invasions, if I could give it a grade, F being obviously the worst, A being the best, this would be a D-.
Yeah.
And the only thing that saves it from an F is Samuel L. Jackson. I saw the conclusion. I saw how they're leading into the Marvels, that movie. And it really was there was no post-credit scene, not that I saw. It was just talk about them going and on to the next film. So it's clearly going to pick up the Marvels where this left off. And it was so lackluster. Disney Plus has reported record-breaking people unsubscribing to Disney Plus. They're not impressed. They're not interested. I'm talking about by the millions. Folks are not impressed with Disney Plus. So as you said, critics have slammed it overall. I don't know what the overall ratings has been outside of hearing that overall for Disney Plus, it hasn't been good. Period.
It has been good. Disney Plus, a lot of the fans, at least from the Marvel side, a lot of the Marvel fans have been holding out with Disney Plus because of the fact that they're still trying to see, how they unfold. But the new content that Disney Plus is giving is just lackluster. And then also the new content that we're getting, the series that we're getting from Marvel is just not, it's not what we're expecting. It's not as a whole what we're expecting. Like I said, this doesn't even give the arc of Secret Invasion. This doesn't give
no, it doesn't. And to see the final scene and the final fight scene and how they did everything, it was so poorly done. The CW actually did a better job with their Crisis on Infinite Earths and their Elseworld story than this, and that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yes. So I I don't know. This is not good for Marvel. It hasn't been looking good for Marvel. And
Well, it adds to the rumors, right? Where Disney Iger is looking at selling off different pieces of Disney because he's having such a hard time, including the app. People don't realize that Disney Plus itself may go away.
I mean I wouldn't be upset about that.
No, and they're
I mean,
talking about just putting everything on ABC.
yeah, it's gonna hurt Marvel definitely for sure because they won't have a location or a centralized location
And
for all.
Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, and I think that that's really at this point because Marvel is not is used to be the contender, the reason why people even got Disney Plus, but now Star Wars is really taking on. But Star Wars can be put anywhere.
Yeah, but again, according to Bob Iger, that even Star Wars has not made enough money to really sustain itself. So every single franchise that Disney owns from Marvel, as I said, Pixar, Freeform, ABC, all the different franchises that Disney owns, all of them are in jeopardy of being sold off. And just imagine if Marvel is sold off to Apple.
Yeah.
Because that very well could happen. If that's the case, trust and believe the whole look in Marvel, the whole feel of Marvel is about to change if that happens.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that would be a bad thing because the whole looking because Apple's
they're rated R, they're very rated R, as you know. So the content with Marvel may improve on that side.
Right,
You know,
but
Disney
also,
is very family friendly.
Right, but also the aesthetics.
Correct. Yes.
I think it would be
would get darker, more grittier. Yeah.
Well, it would enhance.
It would.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But good luck to Marvel right now because I'm not satisfied with what's going on. I'm not happy with what they're producing, and it's just not. They need something. They need
$40 billion in debt is a lot, and they right now is as wonderful as they did in phase 1, 2, and 3. Those wonderful phases. It's very sad to see them struggling now.
What's frustrating? I watch Marvel because it's not rated R. Yeah,
right.
I mean, and that's one of the things about that was one of their talking points, Michelle, about why people were picking Marvel over DC.
But at the same time, DC Dark did very well.
Right. What I was gonna say is that at the same time, like the whole purpose because you had the kids being able to look at it, so you had a
family's going.
Right. You had a bigger demographic. So, but at the same time, one of the major, like you just said, one of the major reasons why DC did so well is because they had a darker edge. It appealed to adult nerds. It appealed to they had more range when it came to the story.
Yeah, and now that Disney has bought the rights to Deadpool, as we see Deadpool a shooting, Deadpool the comic book is rated R at best. It is rated R. And it has Deadpool fans are huge. And so we'll see how they do the movie, what direction they go in, because it is not kid friendly. Not that one.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Next up on the list, though, is DC. James Gunn announces when DC Studios' new movie canon starts. And it says, this article which is coming out of The Direct, says, ever since it was first announced that James Gunn would be completely rebooting the DCU, fans have been hard at work figuring out when exactly this new timeline would be starting up. At the very least, audiences knew that Ezra Miller's The Flash was not. I hate when they say it's Ezra Miller's Flash because he's not. Whatever.
No, let them say that. Let them separate him from everything else.
The shade was not the Ezra Miller's Flash was not officially the starting point, despite its leading star ending the movie in an alternate reality. And neither of the other two DCU movies releasing later this year, Blue Beetle and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, would be the beginning of Gunn's world either. So if it's none of those, when exactly is it going to be? Well, fans have to wait all the way until 2025 for Gunn's new Superman Legacy film to release. Talina, do you mind answering the door? Thank you. Sorry, guys.
We're live.
We're live. I'm at work, so so if it's not none of those, when exactly is it going to be? Will fans? Okay, so it says DCU canon confusion addressed by James Gunn. A new comment from DC Studios co-led James Gunn on Instagram shed some light on when the new DCU canon starts. In response to a confused fan trying to make sense of Nathan Fillion's dual casting with the DCU, having played TDK in the. This is all confusing. Okay, there we go. Gunn attempted to clear things up by stating that DC Studios movies and canon start with legacy. This means that any project on the movie side of the equation that premieres before Superman is not canon to the new DCU. Sadly, while this is a technically a clarification, it does make sense. It does make things even more confusing, because when is Legacy coming out?
They're going to start filming that, they said, in January if the strike is resolved. By then, they are ready and set to go to start filming in just a few months. But it won't premiere until the next year.
But here's my issue with fans. Because you know that there's a whole behind strike going on right now.
Right.
Which
is delaying everything.
Which is delaying literally everything. And so you pressuring DC and Marvel on when the next couple of content is coming out. They don't know. If it hasn't been put in post yet, they don't know when it's coming out.
Look at what Marvel is doing with the stuff that has been released. They're talking about delays for the Marvels. Right. That's set to come out in November of this year, but it may not, because with the strike, they're going to try to stretch out things through the time until they get the new work going again. So it makes a lot of sense to do that. Instead of just bam, 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 and then you got a year when nothing comes out, they're going to stretch it out.
What is going on?
And DC is doing the same thing. DC just released a new animated movie where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman and the Justice League are lost in time. Of course, this is a beautiful film. It's a 2-part film. It's really good. It's on HBO Max or Max. Sorry, it's on Max now, and it's really, really well done. It's the animation is extremely well done. And so that was something that I just happened to stumble across. And I thought, oh, this is really dope. So we're going to have a lot of Elseworlds properties that are going to come up.
Say hi to everybody.
So it's ridiculous.
Say hi. That's my assistant. One of my assistants. Anywho, yeah, so hey, Walt, what's going on? What did he say? Well, being the host, he says, I need them to take their time and make it right, though.
I know that's right. Let them do that.
That's fine with me. But listen, here's my issue. So it's twofold for me. It's like a double-edged sword, Dominic. First of all, I'm going to keep this up. That's very true. I want to make sure that they do it right, regardless if it's DC. She's very pretty, Elder Kwame. Thank you. Yes. We have pretty people over here at Pyro Media. That's just,
yes, we do.
Anyway,
no flops here.
So, Dominic. So my whole reasoning behind everything is why I feel the way I feel is that on one hand, yes, we understand that there's going to be delays because of the delays of the writer's strike and the SAG strike or whatever. Okay, fine. But at the same time, there's the fans are sitting there saying, well, we want more content. We want more content. This would have been all well and done if Marvel wasn't greedy. And I'm blaming this on Marvel. Here's why. Ooh. Because y'all know I'm a Marvel fan. I have been Marvel.
We're both Marvel fans. Yeah.
But I lean more towards Marvel for me personally. I've admitted that. But I love DC, everything or whatever. I started out with DC, but Marvel is where I'm at. However, I blame Marvel for this because they started out with such a powerful bang, bringing in this beautiful universe, creating and building and bringing this arc together. But the problem I had with it is that they got greedy. You focused so much on the app, but you didn't focus on putting funds towards new production. You focused on making sure that you got all of the licensing, which is great because now you own all the rights to the characters. But then you chose to be greedy and not work with licensing when you needed it. Because if I would love for DC and Marvel to actually do a DC Marvel collab. That would be super dope. That would be super dope. And both companies would not have any financial issues anymore. I promise you that. But that's never going to happen because of egos. Amy Jones. Hey, Amy, how you doing? She said, I'm a Marvel fan.
That's true. Marvel and DC did a crossover comic book, which, to my understanding, to this date, is the most successful comic book from either franchise. They outsold everything from Marvel and DC with their collaboration.
They absolutely did. And that is absolutely true.
So, the fans were asking James Gunn, was he open to since we're talking about the multiverse, would he be open to a crossover? And he said he would. It would be nice if we could see that now during this whole Elseworld saga. But it sounds like what we're going to see very soon from the DC side is a lot of people love the Matt Reeves Batman movie with Chloe Kravitz as Catwoman. So there is a series, the Penguin series is, as far as I know, is completely done. And so that is slated to come out very shortly too. But of course, both franchises are going to pace themselves because there's nothing else in the K. What did I say?
You said Chloe, but it's Zoe Kravitz. But
Chloe, Zoe.
Yeah, but yeah, she did. Cause I think that's the Matt Reeves Batman is really it's going to be really popular especially for Gen Z. Gen Z really is like loyal to this Batman, that demographic. They have that unlocked, so that's great that they're having it. And I'm seeing what James Gunn is doing. He's building this beautiful. Did Brother Dominic say Elseworld? Yes. So that Elseworld. Do you want to break that down for?
Yes. So there's the main universe that is about to what we're talking about, the main universe that is going to premiere in 2025 with the main version of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and all the other, top tiers. But then there is within the multiverse, they call it Elseworlds.
Correct.
So, what else is going out there in the multiverse? It's pretty much what they do. And they do kind of capsulated stories. So, for example, the Matt Reeves Batman is an Elseworlds project. Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, that $1 billion movie that he did, that is an Elseworlds project. And I think that's done, the one with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. So we don't know when that's going to come out, but most likely it will come out next year. So those are Elseworlds projects. Sandman, that's on Netflix. That's an Elseworlds project. It's detached.
Deb Lover, hi, welcome to the Neutral Mavericks. Thank you for joining. I'd like to see them bring back Luke Cage, the Punisher, and the rest of those Marvel characters. Now, listen, I agree with you 150% on that. Now, the one that I feel like they need to be specific on those because those cost them a lot of money, but that also was but they gained a lot of money from those, but because that was that was Marvel's connection to Netflix. They burned that bridge when they created Disney Plus. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I think Marvel did was when they broke their contract with Netflix, because they were because now look, DC has a contract with Netflix and they created Sandman, which is, I personally think, one of the best shows and series that DC has made.
Not just DC, even Marvel.
I agree. That's arguably true. Yes.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's like, I've never seen anything like it.
I have not either. It was really, it looked like a very long movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the actual writer and the creator of Sandman working on this series. So when you get that directly from the source material, and unfortunately he passed away late last year. Yeah. So this whole season 2 will be the first thing ever done without the actual creator. So, and then he had a lot to do with the Dead Boy Detective series that's about to come out as well. And that's connected to Sandman. So we'll see how. Rest in peace, Neil something. Neil, you know what your last name is, but rest in peace.
Yes. All right.
So
So let's get into some Comic-Con news. So this past weekend was Comic-Con, and so there's been a lot of buzz. Dominic and I talked about some of the stuff that was coming out last week as well, or last Thursday. But there was a bunch of trailers that came out. We're not going to go through all of them. I just felt like, and a bunch of news that came through. There's so much going on this past Comic-Con, which I thought was really, really good because it showed people that SDCC was successful.
Yeah, it was. It was very old school. It's like a traditional Comic-Con without all the stars.
Yeah, without all the commercialization, which
Right.
which to the diehard nerds, I thought that was really really cool and good to have. Now, first up, there was a announcement that allegedly the Blue Beetle director wanted to pitch DC a Bane or origin story. Now, I brought this up for a reason, but let me read what's going on. So it is being reported by superherohype.com. Blue Beetle director Angel Manuel Soto has spoken about a Bane origin story that he wanted to pitch to DC before making Blue Beetle. In an interview with Den of Geek, Soto revealed that he originally wanted to pitch the idea of a Bane story, origin story that delves into the backstory of the villain, noting that he thought there was something interesting about exploring how one's Batman iconic antagonist became who he is. Now, here's what I feel about this. I think this is cute for Disney or Warner, but I didn't think this was necessary. I think if they do this, this is going into that whole what's his name?
Black Adam phase.
Black Adam issue that they were having where we're talking
He's not
about
famous enough.
He's not famous enough.
Right.
But
you know what? Can I just say if it's done right, it could possibly work. So if he's a part of an ensemble cast, let's just say now what I would do if I were this guy. Now I know that he's Hispanic, so he wants to highlight Hispanic characters in the DC universe. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know Bane is Hispanic. He's Mexican, I believe. Mm-hmm. So with that, it would really be nice if they did a movie with him to pair him with, get this, Deathstroke and Amanda Waller.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would be the only way a movie like that would really pop, because you need a bunch of super hardcore, supporters. You can put a Bronze Tiger in there. You can put a lot of mercenaries and make it, because he's a mercenary. So make it a mercenary film, and it'll be a lot like John Wick.
They're not going to bring back. They're not going to bring in Bronze Tiger. They're not. You know how long it took us to get Black Panther? They're not going to bring in Bronze Tiger.
And Michael Jai White had to fight to play him in the DC universe on TV.
Right, and if they clear this, then we're not going to get much other than that. Now
that would be a flop, man.
Yeah, exactly. We may get some Batman cameos, but we're not. I don't think so.
It would really be smart if they did that. They could do so many cool people. Dwayne the Rockers. No, I agree, and he's not. He is not.
They have seriously.
They have. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bitterness there, so he will not be back.
I don't even know if he's going to come back to Warner. Period.
No, I don't. Who knows? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
So right now he's at Disney.
Yeah.
So now he's left.
Wait, The Rock?
Yeah. Oh, he left. He left Warner Brothers, and now he's at Disney. Yeah, he's doing all these Disney movies and all that stuff. So.
Oh wow. Oh, we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
So another thing any more thoughts on Bane?
No, I just think that when you put Amanda Waller, you put Bronze Tiger, you can pull Bullseye, you can put all of that Amanda Waller stuff in here. Oh, that'll be hot. It'll be almost like a Suicide Squad movie, but not.
But that's going to be an Amanda Waller show now, and I don't think that's going to be. They're not going to do. We're already getting an Amanda Waller movie. Yeah,
but if you do it where he is the main antagonist, and you put Deathstroke, and then she pops in every now and again, like she did in Peacemaker, because she should be in everything. Amanda Waller is like Nick Fury. You should always see her popping up at the end or at the beginning to instigate something. That's what she does.
Yeah. So in addition to this whole Bane origin story that they're pitching this. There was also a release of the trailer from The Legend of the White Dragon.
Oh yeah.
For those who do not know, this is a Power Rangers type thing. So those who are Power Rangers fans, this was a
Go
huge
go
deal.
Power Rangers.
Right, and this is a huge deal because the lead actor, what do you call it? Or not the lead actor, excuse me. The oh my god, I need to get the
one of the legendary, the white
yeah,
Power Ranger, right? Yeah.
right,
He passed away.
Right. He passed away from suicide, and that's I'm gonna find the cast.
Right after filming this movie, right? Right after they wrapped.
Correct.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Jason David Frank, who played the White Ranger in the original, and has been a Comic-Con legend, and just kind of a nerd legend. He really was a big deal, and this has him in it because he's a lead in it, and it's the legend of the Green Ranger and the White Dragon and the White Ranger and stuff like that. So they're doing a new take on it, and I'm looking forward. I actually want to take it. I was a huge Power Rangers fan, and so this was a big deal when this was announced at Comic-Con. And then the way that the trailer looks, obviously, you guys know we can't play the trailer because of YouTube rights and
right,
ridiculous. Yeah, this is going to be good.
But check it out, though. If that's something that you're into, you grew up with, your kids grew up with, they yeah, check it out.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some things. I have some thoughts on these two studios, and I really think we're about to have some problems. We're about to have some problems, so we'll be right back. Stay tuned. This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Lux and Noir. And we're back. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, do us a quick favor and hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so, and like the video. We appreciate you. You okay there?
That commercial was kind of Cupcake is right.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh.
You guys are so ridiculous.
Only fans, huh? Okay.
Oh,
anyway.
Absolutely not. I am saying this. Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's talk about some things over here. So we're talking about Marvel and DC and just the shenanigans that is going on with it. I personally, as a fan of both Marvel and DC, I'm just exhausted. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way who are into the comic world, who are blerds, but I am exhausted with the drama. I'm exhausted with the mess. I'm exhausted with the lack of preparation. I'm exhausted with just the overall disregard for the needs and wants of the fans. And we've warned you guys of stuff that we've been looking for and what we've been wanting. And it seems like people are just getting in egos. People are leaving one place to go to another place, going with this place to go to that place, and nothing seems to be getting done. We now have a writer's strike. We now have an actors guild strike, or excuse me, SAG-AFTRA strike. And it's just, it's causing us stress. It's like we went from having a pandemic to where not everything was shut down to almost another pandemic where everything is shut down, and it's a mess. It's a mess, and I really would like it if people who are in the corporate entities of Marvel and the corporate entities of DC to sit down and really think about how they're going to move forward, and really think about how they're going to move forward with the fans' interest in mind, and maybe kind of do some, if you can, do some kind of, polls and tests and testing and have conversations with real fans. Maybe Comic-Con, you should have went to Comic-Con, not just to show what you could have brought, but maybe have a conversation with the fans, the fans that are there, and saying, hey, what do you want to see from us? What would you like for us to do? I think a census would have been really cool. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's just getting to a point where it doesn't feel like you're listening to us at all, and you're doing whatever the bottom line is giving you. And then the stuff that is making you money, you don't invest in. You should have invested in more stuff for Black Panther. You should have invested in more stuff for the Spider-Man multiverse. You should have invested in more stuff for. I would have been cool to see a Namor spinoff. I would have loved to see more black and brown situations. We still haven't gotten our Blade. We were supposed to get Blade. That's chopped. You know what I'm saying? We never, and I don't think we'll ever get a proper Storm review. And what frustrates me is that it's like, yo, you're only doing this because you know black and brown movies and black and brown led stuff win. It's just, that's the way it is.
Well, I was watching a documentary that was released during the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, last week, and it was a DC based or produced documentary about comic books, but it included Marvel. You can't tell DC's story without telling Marvel. You can't tell Marvel's story for sure without telling DC's story, because they are so interconnected. A lot of people don't realize that they share a lot of the same writers, a lot of the same content creators. A lot of your favorite comic book stars on one side were created by the people on the other side. So it is perfectly, they are twins.
Yeah.
And DC is the oldest. Marvel really came along in the 70s. So you got one in the 30s, I believe, and then one in the 60s, 70s that came along. So these comic book franchises have been around for so long. And the crazy thing this documentary revealed is that it has always been owned and driven by white men.
Yeah, and one of my frustrations with the fandom,
very white, and they know now that things have shifted, demographics have shifted, and it is the hardest thing in the world for them to really get on board with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I get frustrated with the fandom is like, well, DC did this and Marvel did that, and DC did this and Marvel did that. Let me explain something to y'all. There have been so many up and coming, because Marvel did exactly what DC tried to do to them to many other up and coming comic book or companies. Many different type of production companies that tried to come up and build their own stuff. DC did the same thing. They tried to shut stuff down. They bought stuff out. They pressed it down.
Oh, they're both dirty.
They both are very dirty. So don't make it seem like Marvel is better than DC or
no.
Marvel.
Because Marvel did Black Panther, that Marvel is woke. Right. Marvel is not woke.
Or because DC gave Dwayne The Rock Johnson an opportunity. They're not. No, neither one of them are woke. Neither one of them are have our best interest in mind. Because if they did, we would have had multiple Black Panthers. If they did, we would have had multiple Storms. We would have had a Bronze Tiger movie. We would have had multiple.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr.
Vixen.
Terrific.
Vixen.
Oh my God! Can we get
a lot of Black women, even our sisters on here, if they knew how amazing Vixen was on the DC side, they would be like, "Oh my God, who's my favorite, like Storm or Vixen?
Right,
Storm or Vixen? They are
Barbie,
so."
They would.
I love.
Who's Barbie? Vixen. Yes. Vixen was a phenomenal role model for our young queens growing up. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't.
But you know why? Correct.
I know why.
And when we were looking at even who created some of our favorite, like Black Panther, a white man created Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Lightning was created by an Italian.
I'm sorry, Sister Michelle said,
who the heck is Vixen? See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what's crazy.
If you have HBO Max, or Max as we know it now, search for a movie called Vixen.
Yes.
And you will see
And
some really good stuff, and you'll learn all about her background.
she said, "I never heard about Vixen." Most people don't know about Vixen.
Yeah,
So Vixen is a super. Let me actually pull up. So I can
she's a queen.
see.
She's an African queen. I can tell you who she is. She's an African queen, just like T'Challa of Black Panther. She comes from an African tribe, fictional tribe and community, just like Black Panther. Her tribe and stuff wasn't as technically advanced, but what she was given was a totem, a necklace that has like a panther god, but far more than that, just like the Black Panther. So
Yeah.
it gives her all of the powers of the jungle and any animal. She is she's gorgeous. She's a supermodel. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's fierce, and she's very fierce.
She's just a black goddess. Like she is
She
just
is.
everything. She
Yeah.
is literally like she is that girl. And for me, when I see Vixen, I think of what could be with DC. I think of and it reminds me of the how Storm was kind of like what's the word? Slighted.
Downplayed. Yeah.
Downplayed, slighted.
Yeah.
Slighted is the better word for what I was looking for. But that to me is I'm pulling up pictures for you guys so you guys can see who Vixen is. Vixen is life. It is so good. Yes, Vixen is that girl.
She is.
She is that girl. I will.
She's one of my favorites in the DC whole universe.
Yeah, and she's not no punk either. She can hold up with the best.
Well, they wrote her to look like Tyra Banks.
Mm-hmm.
To be literally an African queen with the superpowers of everything that's in Africa.
Yeah, yeah.
She is just everything.
She is everything. She is everything. And I'm trying to pull up some things here, but it's not. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here is one picture of Vixen. That is Vixen right there. That's one of the pictures of her.
That's her totem, and that totem around her neck gives her so many different kinds of powers.
Yeah. Yeah,
she can fly. She can heal herself. She can do all kinds of things.
She can
run as fast as the Flash. Yeah, she can. There's nothing she can't do, really.
There's really nothing she can't do. She is that girl, and that girl she is. And so Vixen is that girl. Here's another one of her. This is probably a better depiction of Vixen. My person from the comics. She is a amazing, powerful comic book character that is just gone so underrated, just like Storm has gone underrated. But as you can see, are we surprised? Wait, hold on, there we go. Are we surprised by who is in charge of DC and Marvel on why certain things are,
yes. And Gunn says that he hears what's going on. And that's why he's going to give us Mr. Terrific in a huge way. He's talking about Vixen in a larger way. But it still does not sound like they're going to get their spinoff movies or spinoff shows. They're just going to be part of the ensemble cast, which is not good enough.
Yeah, it's just
they've been around. Storm and Vixen are over 30 years old. So you mean out of 30 years of series after comic book series after rebirths that you can't tell any of her stories?
Yeah.
Really?
Right. Now, so I just saw in the comments here, Michelle says John Cena is not a good actor. the white
I disagree.
Running things, white running things. Yes, indeed. Now
I disagree. I liked him. I think
series. John Cena's was okay. I think
he got better.
He got better in
over time.
Enjoyed Peacemaker. Now, where's the comment? There it is. I see HBO Max only one episode. Now, this is what you should be looking for. If you don't see this, then that's not. This is the Vixen movie that you need to see. This will give a good depiction of who she is. This was probably one of the best versions of what they produced.
And this is what we're saying. Storm needs her own movie. At least, if y'all don't cast a live action person, at least give us animation.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they do it better in animation anyway.
They do. They do. All right. Well, there's one more thing that I want to talk about. Let me pull this out the way because this is not. There we go. All right. So there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about, you guys, when it came to Marvel. Excuse me, DC. My Adventures with Superman saw no interference with DC Studios, and says producer James Gunn. No, I'm sorry. Yes, says producers. My Adventures with Superman showrunner Jake Wyatt assures DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn did not interfere with the animated series. Now, let me explain to you. Goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about. The reason why I feel like situations like this, he didn't interfere with situations like this because of who the main character was. They knew that, and on top of that, Jake Wyatt is very true to story. Like he's very that type of person where he's like, I want to make sure that the story aligns with the comics. And although he did some twisty turns and certain things like it's like the My Adventures of Superman's the series.
Oh, he based a lot of powers off tech.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird. I saw that. And
I
agree.
Like,
that's not comic book accurate, but that's cool. It's fine. It's comic
book
a new
accurate. Take. Right.
It's a new take. It's a newer comic, but it's like, why did you choose that? But that's fine. But you're not going to get any interference with stuff like that. But you'll get interference with stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? You'll get interference with stuff like this. You know, you'll get interference with stuff like this. You know, you'll get interference with stuff like this. Does anything seem like a common denominator to you?
You know, we even believe our own people even will see someone white say something or in a movie and then see almost the same thing in a black version. And even our people are going to go for the white because the assumption is they do everything better. There's more money, there's more eloquence, there's more this, there's more glitz and glamour and more explosions and more da-da-da-da-da-da. That's a lot of people feel that white brings in more money, even though we have proved more than one time. We proved it with Blade 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
We proved it with what else did we prove it with? We proved it with Black Panther. We proved it in even some on the DC side that we can bring in dollars.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, that's just a fad. That's a phase. Mm-hmm. There's a sickness there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's either sickness or it's
sick because they don't like money.
Or it's indoctrination.
That part too. It's all of that too.
Because
we'll stop your income because of your situation. That says that there's a ticky boom boom going on.
We'll be quick to say, let's go to Abercrombie and Fitch or go to a Gucci or go to some name brand, then go to one of our black owned businesses.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's so sad.
Hey Keats, how you doing?
Keats.
He says, "Okay, I will look out for. We'll look for this. Yeah, definitely check out.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
Especially you, Sister Michelle.
Yeah,
I know, Sister Michelle, you will enjoy this.
Yeah, you will.
You will enjoy this. Ignore the other stuff when it comes to the Flash and Green Arrow. I mean, they're just a part of the storyline because they have to bring Vixen into the Justice League and stuff.
But she is up front. And her story is primary. They have side stories, so it's still very enjoyable.
She's that girl. Yeah. But that's all I got. Dominic, you got anything else?
No, unfortunately, just like you said, I really, 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 really wish that both franchises would really lean more into their black characters. DC has another character that's in Young Justice she has a huge fan base. I didn't even know it. Rocket.
Yeah.
You know who she is. Mm-hmm. Rocket has a huge fan base. I'm starting to learn more and more about her and her powers and her abilities. She's really well written, very interesting.
Yeah. Rocket's actually pretty damn dope.
Yeah.
She's really damn dope, actually. And I think that she's been kind of she's gotten really popular in Young Justice. Yeah. But I think I learned so much. Thank you. You're welcome. And for those who are interested, once you watch the animes, I think you guys will enjoy how some of the DC anime is. I would also encourage you guys to get into the series called Young Justice. That's a pretty dope series. Oh my god,
it's very well done.
Speaking of Young Justice, why didn't they do a series on Aqualad?
Well, that was another thing that's another person. He's black and gay.
Oh,
he's the heir apparent. When Arthur becomes the king of Atlantis, he says, "I can't be Aquaman anymore in Justice League. I am the king of Atlantis. So Aqualad, you become Aquaman, and you take my place." He's a black, beautiful gay man, and they have no interest in showing him. None. And he always has been.
And he's a better leader than Robin, in my personal opinion.
He's a better leader than Robert. Yes, he's very strategic. He's super smart, and he's very powerful.
By the way,
there's Rocket.
This is Rocket, yes, and this is Young Justice. And in the middle, you see Aqualad, who is the current leader of the Young Justice team.
Yeah, and he's again openly gay. And I guess in Atlantis they didn't learn anything about all this stupid Bible stuff where they added all kind of stuff and all that dumb stuff. So it is so nice to see somebody so pure. The character.
Now, Michelle, it's not apparent that he's gay until probably season 3, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Is it 3? I think it's 3 when we meet his boyfriend.
Probably is husband, boyfriend, something.
Yeah, well, they didn't. In the comics, they didn't get married until season. Well, the later on series.
Okay, I was like, they did get married, but
their
later
fiance,
on.
Their fiance.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. I mean, he is quite a warrior. He's a man's man, and it just happens that he likes dudes. So,
how do you know he is gay? How is it developed? So we know that he's gay because they show his partner. They show that they're in love and that they're talking about life. You'll see.
They have a home together. They built a life together. Yeah, they're very in love with each other.
And it's very normalized. It's very like like it's supposed to happen. Like it's just.
That's what I mean. Like in Atlantis, there is no all of that dumb stuff.
There's no homophobia. There's none of that. It's
none of that.
It's on HBO Max.
Yes, that's on Max.
Yes.
Correct. There's also a really good movie with Bronze Tiger in it that you and I saw, and we were talking about it. And I really suggest that you all check that out. It's a 1970s version. Remember that 1970s where it felt like we were watching a Shaft movie? It was like Enter the Dragon or The Dragon. And Bronze Tiger's in it. It is so good.
Yeah, literally.
It is like a black exploitation movie. It's so good.
Yeah, and literally any of the DC animes you guys can check out. It's really good.
It's.
I can't remember. Do you know the name of that one? The one with Brown Tiger. Do you remember it?
I think it's called Enter the Dragon. It has dragon in the title, but it's a Batman movie and it's called something Dragon. You're gonna make me look it up. But anyway, it's a really good movie. I'll send you the information, Michelle. I'll send that to you. But
Soul of the Dragon. Soul of the Dragon. Yes.
Soul of the Dragon. That's a really good movie. Actually, I have watched that about 3 times. Now I want to see it again.
I want to see it again. Yeah, because I remember that. Now that I'm looking at the pictures of it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was good. It was kind of it made it seem like Bruce was like a Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it was very 70s, and people who grew up in the 70s and early 80s, like myself, they know what I'm talking about. All those movies were like that.
How was that, Keita? I keep seeing it scroll on Max, but I haven't. It's unrelated to comics, but I definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. You're welcome, Sister Michelle. All right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and head out. I got a meeting to go to.
Yes, and please don't forget that the series that Kwame and I talked about, the African series, all African actors, the animators and storytellers are all South African or all African. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful series that is on Hulu, is it? Mm-hmm. Or Netflix?
Wait, what are you talking about? Which one?
That beautiful African animation.
That is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. It's really, really good, actually. We talked about that with the shorts. You talking about with the shorts?
Yes, I just wanted to mention that again because it is so good. If you guys haven't checked that out, it is worth checking out.
Disney Plus.
You're right. It's Disney Plus because we criticized them for not advertising it at all.
Now I'm gonna be mad that I don't know the name of the series. We just talked about this. Oh yes, Kazazimoto. Oh
Yeah,
oh
Kazazimoto.
Kazazimoto. Yes, and I think
So
I had
good.
a picture of it on here somewhere. I don't know if it's still on here. I think I
It's
lost.
so unique. It's
It's
so
really cool.
independent of everything.
Yeah,
And I like it because even though we want to see the black characters in Marvel and DC, they're still owned by white men.
yeah.
And that really bothers me that these fictional characters are owned by white people. But these characters are owned by black people. And I really like that.
Yeah, it's and they're shorts too, so you guys can just watch it without
Yeah,
like
they're about 15 minutes long or so,
yeah,
right?
15,
Yeah.
20 minutes, and stuff like that. So, but yes, all right, you guys, we gotta go. I gotta go for sure. The scroll, it was very informative. Okay, awesome.
Good.
I'm gonna check out the scroll. All right, you guys, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hit that
Thank
like.
you.
Yes, hit that like
Yes.
button, share if you haven't done so already. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so, and join the Pyro fam. And we will see you guys on the next one. Until then, stay unusual, you guys.
Stay unusual.
Bye.
Bye.